Okay. Hello, I'm Andrew. Welcome to a video on my Simferu channel, and I'm basically just gonna go into this story I had. Yesterday when I was in my medical assistant class, basically we were in the middle of the class and all of a sudden at around what was it, like 4 o'clock or something, all of a sudden outside I could see the lightning and the thunder flashing and it was raining super hard, and then I could, my video in the zoom camera was on, so I could see the lightning flashing across my face, and honestly I thought it was really cool when that was happening. So the lightning kept flashing, and then moments later I would hear the thunder. It was after, every time I saw it flash I was all like, wait for it, the thunder's gonna hit, and then it hit, and then it was just crazy. And then this one time this especially big lightning bolt came down, and then I saw an especially big flash across my face that I just couldn't miss at all. And all of a sudden I hear the humongous roaring thunder that approaches, and this was the biggest one yet. And then all of a sudden I hear all the cars going off outside and they're beeping a lot, and all of a sudden my zoom just stops working. I thought it was the other people, the teacher's zoom, who went off, but no, it was mine, and I basically just entirely disconnected. And at that point I thought, oh, maybe the lightning hit a Wi-Fi tower or something, so I thought the Wi-Fi went out. And then I go downstairs to sort of get a break, maybe get some water and stuff, since I won't be able to join the class since the Wi-Fi's out. So I go downstairs and then I realize the lights are all off, and it turns out the power went out. The lightning was so strong that the power went out. So basically after that, I was all like, oh, okay, so what snack do I want to eat? I couldn't really find anything I want to eat. So I came back up to my room and I was like, okay, I guess I'll get some work done without the power being on and stuff. And then I heard in the other room, my brother and my dad were watching the outside the rain and stuff. And all of a sudden they said that it started hailing. So I went to my window and I immediately looked outside, and bam, the hail was just coming down super hard and stuff. And I was like, it was pretty crazy. It looked like everything was covered in snow and stuff, but it was hail. It was snow, but it was not snow, but it looked like snow, which was really cool and everything. So I ran downstairs and I was all like, dude, because from my childhood, I remember the last time I was there when it hailed, and I remember going outside with a small cereal bowl and catching the hail. So I was all like, I gotta do that again. So I got this bigger sort of bowl thing, and I went outside and I basically placed it under there. It was raining. It was raining and hailing pretty hard. So, and all the shoes outside were wet. So I was like, ooh, it's wet. So I tried to put it in there. I didn't go out with a jacket or anything. So I put it under the hail, and I sort of just waited there. I patiently waited as a few of the hail things it turns out those hail things didn't fall all in one spot. Maybe it was because this sort of awning thing in the area that I was in, and I barely placed the bucket out of the thing, but only a few pebble hail pieces were coming down, or maybe most of the hail had already fallen, so only a few were falling. So I waited until the very bottom of the bucket was sort of covered, and then I sort of brought that thing back inside, and I was I showed my family and stuff, and I was like, oh, I showed my sister, and then she looked at it, and then she sort of just brushed it off her shoulder, and then I took it and I crunched it all together and made this big with how big was the snowball was. And I took that thing and then I put it on our orchid plant, because I read the orchid plant came with a tag that said to put ice cubes on it when watering it, which was crazy to me, but that's just how you water and stuff. So I was all like, okay, hope the acid rain doesn't do anything, or if you know how the water's toxic if they have that in the ice and stuff, I hope that doesn't do anything to the orchid plant. So then after that I came back upstairs, and then after a little while the Wi-Fi came back on, and then the power came back on and everything, and I was able to return to class as normal. But anyways, I was really surprised that it was hailing and stuff. And then I also texted my friends and stuff about the hail and whether they saw it and stuff, but it didn't happen in their area. It's just near my area around my house and stuff, even though they don't live too far. They're only a few miles away or anything, but they didn't see any of that hail or anything. So it was only in my area where all the hail was there, and it looked really cool and everything. Okay, so later that day my dad takes my brother to taekwondo, and then when they go to taekwondo and they come back, my dad he just leaves the car there. And then the next day when he's driving my brother to school, he realizes that there's something wrong with the engine, and the engine starts smoking and stuff. It turns out that yesterday when my dad brought my brother back from taekwondo, the engine was still warm while it was still raining and all cold outside. That some animal, probably some rat or something, got inside the engine and started chewing into the car's mechanics and stuff, and broke one of the pipes or whatever, and that caused the coolant or whatever antifreeze to start spilling out, or to not be contained very well. So this morning when my dad was driving my brother to school, he realized that the engine was getting hotter. He saw it on his dashboard or something, and it indicated whether like it was getting warmer or something, and that kind of stuff. So he came back home, it was like smoking, and then he looked in it and he realized what the rat had did. And oh yeah, and in case any of you are wondering, my dad like got a tow truck, his insurance covered it and stuff, and like they're gonna have it repaired by tomorrow at like 1 p.m. So everything sort of works out, but he had to use one of our other cars. So yeah, it's all worked out in the end, but he has to pay like like more than $100 to fix what the rat did and stuff like that, since like the insurance doesn't cover that part, it just covered like the towing to like the repair shop. But yeah, that was the that was basically my day, or just a little embed in my day. Thanks for watching.